Covering ground fast this morning with State Senator Jason Allen, Republican candidate for Congress in the 1st Congressional District. And we all were watching that night, election night, primary election night. How late were you up, and at what point did you realize you weren't going to get a result that night?
About 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
And the diversity of the district with 31 different counties and the efforts that went into the clerks, I feel they worked very hard, and it was a quite tight election. Right now, the official Secretary of State's total goes is that we as the Allen campaign are one vote difference between Dr. Benishek and myself. Right now, sort of the recounting that's been bouncing around, I think there's still 8 or 9 more counties that have to recount. We show we're down like 12 or 13 votes. And this is still going to bounce around for the next 2 days. That is the process that goes on, Michael Patrick, is that the first is that each one of the 31 different county board of canvassers has to meet. And they're in the process of doing that. And they go back and take a look at transcription errors. They take a look at a variety of different initial problems. Then after that, sometime late next week, mid next week, the state board of canvassers will be meeting. And at that point in time, you'll make the determination of what the options are. One would be to do nothing, Dr. Benishek recount, or ourselves recount.
And even if you were to pull ahead, they're going to ask for a recount, right?
Sure.
So we're destined for that.
Those are going to be decisions that will be made sometime next week based on a lot of different factors.
Unless they find a box of 600 votes somewhere or something, right?
Could be a variety of different things going on, and that's why I'm hesitant to comment, because we just don't know. I mean, and the clerks in the variety of areas are, I think, generally honorable and good folks. But there are going to be problems going on.
How long would a hand count take? Because that's what would be the next phase, right?
I believe that would be someplace between a week to 10 days. But we still have to talk through sort of what the strategies are with the Secretary of State, because she would be the one that would be ultimately in charge of the recount. But the vastness of the district with 490 miles stem to stern really make it an interesting exercise.
I wonder where that happens, where the recount happens. In each precinct?
And this may be something to have some experts on from the Board of Elections, but I believe that those have to take place in each one of the county seats.
Is it haunting? It must be, to know that it was one vote or even 12 votes.
Sure. If you take a look at it, the voter turnout has been remarkable. And we were at approximately, I think the last primary was someplace around in the mid-40s as far as voter turnout, and we were well over 72,000 people that voted in this election. And so it shows you that people are very concerned about the direction of where America is headed, especially in northern Michigan.
Some people would say, well, you're giving the Democrat a big head start if we go through a recount. I wonder if maybe the publicity involved with the recount is almost as good as campaigning.
That has been one of the sort of strategies that's been laid out by many people, and it's been talked about when I've researched this, is that when you get into these tight votes, this kind of takes an issue onto itself.
It's made national news after all.
It certainly has, and so we're working through that, and we've had a lot of inquiries nationwide on this issue.
How would you describe your mood right now? Are you disappointed, frustrated, excited, eager to get on with it?
I think this is a process that's going on. I am concerned about the direction of where America is headed. And when you start taking a look at the challenges that we're facing, we've got to get through this, and we've got to get on to the campaign season. Certainly there's ups and downs every day.
And this is not campaigning because the votes are in.
Right.
You're not going to change anybody's mind. The votes are already there. So it's a matter of protecting the votes you have and finding the ones that maybe were miscounted.
Correct. And then it's also the aspect of just getting closure on this. And it's so close, Michael Patrick. I mean, think about it. Whether it's whatever the number will be today, it'll probably slightly change, but it is incredibly close. And
do you have to incur legal fees in a situation like this?
That is all part of the process, is using attorneys, and we're in the process of getting that put together if we decide to go forward. You've got to have recount teams put together. There's a litany of things that go on that we're learning about.
Do you think you've won?
I think it's very, very close, and the issue gets into sort of what is going to be happening with the rest of these boards of elections, because we've seen shifts of 8 or 10 votes a day, and so you just have to be prepared for that. God has a plan for everybody, and so we have been very patient and working through this.
Most of your votes came in the Lower Peninsula?
We did pretty well below the bridge, and then the eastern upper peninsula we did very well. And we were fortunate enough, we won Chippewa County. Mackinac County is one of the areas where we're still waiting to hear back on recount. And then we did very well below the bridge.
Never in your wildest dreams would you have imagined this, right?
No, sir. Not at all, sir.
God, I can't even imagine. And we were watching the returns that night, and it looked like Dr. Banashak had a big lead. And, we didn't stay up till 4:30 like you did. And then I woke up in the morning, and Amanda, my producer, said, Senator Allen is losing by a vote. And I said, you've misread something somewhere.
No,
And it was true.
It was true. Yes, very much so.
Huh.
And so we'll family's doing well.
I was going to ask, how is Mrs. Allen handling this?
She's doing very well. I mean, these are obviously, you'd like to bring closure on some of these things, but, this is part of the plan.
I'm going to see your father and Wayne Schmidt in Traverse City on Friday. We're going to be broadcasting from downtown there, so
Wonderful.
I'll send your best.
Please do. They're all. It was great to talk to Dad and Mom. They came up for the election night.
I'm sure. I'm very happy to see you again. I've been worried about you and wondering what you've been thinking, and so the battle goes on.
The battle goes on for probably a couple more weeks.
State Senator Jason Allen, the would-be congressman from the 1st Congressional District, once the recount is settled. Television viewers, thanks for being with us. Radio listeners, stay where you are. There's another hour of this. I'm Michael Patrick Shields. We're back in a flash.